The persistent, nagging thoughts begin to stir as I wake. Always start off my day on the right foot. Making the bed takes a good 30 minutes. Sheets are changed daily. Getting out of the room is an exercise. The handle is to be turned 3 times when opening the door, and another 3 times when closing it. The bathroom needs a thorough scrub before and after my shower. But I feel dirty again, so I jump back under the shower. Laundry day is every day. The clothes never look clean enough. Hours pass and I'm finally dressed and I'm ready to leave. The worries escalate though, kicking up a riot in my head. Is the gas off? Have I left the lights on? Shut the windows? Have I closed the refrigerator door or locked the main door and grill? I could scream, I'm late again.
Welcome to a world with Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, or OCD. The American Psychiatric Association defines OCD as an anxiety disorder in which people have recurring unwanted thoughts, ideas, or sensations that drives them to do actions repeatedly.
We do see patients of varying severities. In early stages, it may not cause much distress to our day-to-day life, may not interfere with our job, our education, and whatever roles that we do. On the other extreme, I have patients who are totally paralyzed by this obsessive compulsive problem. They just are very housebound. Some of them are even room-bound.
Repetitive behaviors can impair the daily activities and social interactions of someone with OCD. Dr. Hariram from the Institute of Mental Health, or IMH in Singapore, says these compulsions range from the more common, hand washing, cleaning, and checking on things, to the less overt, like saying prayers, chanting, or counting in one's head.
It'd be safe to say that most people need a sense of control of their lives. Some even refer to themselves as control freaks. But what happens if that need to control becomes excessive, so much so that it disrupts their lives? That might be the first sign that it's time to seek medical help.
And when should these alarm bells go off?
I would normally say when my patients are beginning to spend time more than 1 hour in a particular activity, checking more than an hour, washing more than an hour, doing a particular thing over and over again for more than an hour, I would say you should start thinking about, do I have a problem?
32-year-old Singaporean Darlene Zhuang first showed signs of OCD in 2008. But she had no idea they were serious, so it didn't occur to her to see a doctor. Until one day, Darlene's mother heard her shouting at herself in the bathroom. She had been in there for 2 hours.
I was actually even very anxious and I was telling myself to stop. So she knew it because she was outside, she heard me and she was finding weird that I was taking so long to go out. I was walking in and out of the toilet, so she realized that. I was preparing myself like girls with makeup, and so I was like, every step I have to wash my hand. For me, it's about, at first it was washing hands repeatedly. Then after that, it became to changing of clothes, where I can change like 10 to 20 times a day. And it actually hinders my work, my life, and the people around you get affected.
Experiencing a stressful or traumatic event can trigger the onset of OCD. Dr. Hariram says even witnessing a loved one suffer can cause this psychiatric disorder. Genetic factors and certain illnesses also increase the risks.
If someone had a family history of somebody else is suffering from obsessive compulsive disorder, they do have much higher risk, 2 to 3 times much higher risk than the individual who don't have OCD. In children, a particular type of infection makes the particular area in the brain cells vulnerable and they develop OCD.
Research shows more people are being diagnosed with OCD around the world, including in Asia. In 2011, the first and only study on mental health in Singapore found the Republic was the OCD capital of the world. The numbers of new patients have also increased, though IMH says this could be due to greater awareness. And while most people can relate to having OCD tendencies, Dr. Hariram warns that being a perfectionist or particular about order and cleanliness should not be mistaken for OCD.
Many of the mental health professionals do make these kind of mistakes. We kind of simply labeling it as, I'm also like that a little bit, but we don't want to minimize the individual suffering.
OCD doesn't just paralyze a person's life. In many instances, patients' families make serious sacrifices.
Family members, they have to give up their job and be the full-time carer for their loved one because they've been paralyzed by OCD. They can't get up, they can't finish brushing teeth, washing themselves or eating. Things takes ages, so the loved ones give up their own job and look after them.
Seeking help early is essential to treating the illness effectively. Unfortunately, 9 out of 10 people who have OCD don't get any kind of treatment.
First is to get a proper diagnosis. So you go to a GP. Then if you get this OCD diagnosis, you can go to IMH, the OCD clinic, and then get a proper doctor and psychologist where you can get early treatment. And then after that, your family and friends should know about it and you can have the right support group.
Dr. Hariram says advancements in research have also made medical treatment more successful. And if the illness is treated in the early stages, psychological therapy alone is enough to get people better.
A gold standard treatment for OCD is a particular type of behavioral therapy called exposure and response prevention. That is shown to be equally as effective as medication. It's about helping the individual to learn that you can overcome some of the uncertainties, fears, and the distress caused by the thoughts without you having to do the compulsions. That is, you're exposing, you're staying with the fear, but you're preventing the response, which is a compulsion.
Social stigma about mental health disorders is one of the main reasons why people avoid medical help. Darlene, for instance, refused to visit IMH after being diagnosed with OCD. It took her 6 years to finally receive the treatment she needed.
Because of the stigma and the awareness that is not so great, that I didn't really get intensive treatment. I go reluctantly and I couldn't see myself there. If you don't have a strong support, you will lose faith and courage to overcome it yourself.
We would like people to be inclusive of those who are suffering from mental health difficulties. Take them to help at the earliest time, acknowledge and give listening ear to them. Similarly, employers, if they are inclusive of people who are recovering from mental illnesses, give them a bit of flexibility.
And it's this alchemy of support, treatment, courage and acceptance that woke Darlene out of her OCD nightmare. Though she still experiences episodes of obsessive compulsive behavior, she's now more able to keep them under control.
I can work, even like I start slowly from part-time or like with good bosses, you can overcome this. And also like I achieved my degree. I went back to school to get my degree. And right now I just got married. You come out a better person, a stronger person, and actually you know how to sympathize with those suffering from this. And also like now I'm helping to spread awareness. So it's actually not say a bad thing, because like after that you reap its rewards.